wonder. Yeah, it's this fucking chair's eating my paint off the wall, my drywall. This fucking thing. I'm just kind of sitting sideways. Just had a pizza. The if live stream. Like, what if somebody offered you? I'll wait till somebody comes in. Burning up. I'm burning up. It's hot in here. It's like summertime feeling. It really is. It feels just like summer. All right, so the if live stream, that means would, if it's like, hey, 5. What if somebody offered you $3 million to walk on your hands for the rest of your life? Would you do it? Of course not. But $3 million is $3 million. Somebody would end up doing it.
Can you just act a little less excited? This is my life. It might be falling apart.
On the rocks, we are.
Handicap violation. $301. You didn't care if somebody's handicapped. That means it's out there. Crazy. I'm sorry, got the car taken. My license is good. If it is a thing that you're gonna get it, I'm telling you. Oh my God, I'm a champion.
This is boring. Oh, she got her home. Finally got her home. That's good.
This raid and arrest of a senior member of an outlaw biker club has all the familiar elements. The early morning SWAT-style raid, the shouted search warrant warnings.
Life background, open the door!
A Harley-Davidson shirt, and a burly man with a beard and tattoos taken to jail. But there was something different about this arrest. The law reporter here was news that the senior of the Motorcycle Club was arrested for allegedly accessing child pornography.
Uh-oh.
New South Wales police said an investigation began in June when officers were told that a man described as being known to police was allegedly attempting to access child abuse materials. After an investigation, members of the anti-organized crime unit, called Strike Force Raptor, arrived at a home in a suburb of Sydney. It was shortly after 6 a.m. on October 9th, 2020. Here they arrested a 38-year-old man described as a senior member of the Sechidara Motorcycle Club. Not yet in his biker gear, he stood in this somewhat unfortunate housecoat and slippers. During a search of the home, a phone and a laptop computer were seized for forensic examination. While inside the home, officers also found a reptile in urgent need of veterinarian care. It was removed and taken for treatment. The Sachidara Motorcycle Club began in the Netherlands in 1990 and has been spreading.
All right, enough of that. That's the mob reporter anyway. So that's who that was. I go to him once in a while and watch stuff. It seems to be a lot of biker mob, organized crime shit. But once in a while, he hits the Italian mob, and which the Italian mob isn't the same anymore. It's not the same, but still a big money maker. But yeah, what if somebody gave you $10,000 to cover your entire house with American flags for the rest of your life there? Like, if you decide to move out, you can take it down. No, that wouldn't be enough. $10,000? No thanks. That'd be like chump change. Now, would I even have a house with all those flags on it? I don't know. Maybe give me $10 million? Then we're talking. Give me $10 million and I'll put fucking American flags all around my house. The entire house. That's actually had to have been done somewhere. Somebody's probably already done that. Let's find out. Exterior of house has American flags on it. Huh. That's kind of what that one looks like. Maybe not. Oh, American flag house. There's one. The whole house is painted like an American flag. That's fucking right. And there's two bikes outside. Hogs.
Yeah. Holy shit. You want to race it? I couldn't, but you could. Yeah. That thing sounds awesome.
Sorry.
It's his car.
I'm just looking at this American flag house. Hold on. Where is it?
I wonder what he does for
Oh,
a
well.
living.
I had
If
it
you
on
keep
there.
buying cars and motorcycles, you could probably buy one.
I'm just seeing what's on YouTube right now. I'm bored. Yeah. So what would the answer be if a construction worker approached you covertly, said, "Hey, look, I just found fucking $3 million, and I need somebody to help me, so I can get away with this shit." And would you do it? Just a rogue construction worker walks up to you and says, "I just found $3 million." He shows it to you, and it says, "I just need to fucking get this shit. I need to make this shit safe. I need somebody to help me, stay safe for stealing this." Would you do it for $3 million? No, worth it for $3 million. No, I wouldn't do it. Doesn't matter who it was. Was it she or he or me? I wouldn't do it. $3 million isn't enough for fucking somebody else stealing $3 million. No, I wouldn't do it. But if somebody came up to you and said, "Hey, I found $10 million, will you help me stash it?" What would your answer be? Especially if they're for real and they show it to you. $10 million. And they say, I'll give you $3 million, just help me keep this shit so nobody knows we got it. Kind of like the people that stole Binion's estate, stole all those silver coins and tried to bury them in Pahrump. That was fucking hilarious. And they had them there for a while. I don't know, it was like a lot of silver. It was like $2.5 million worth of silver. I wonder how much that was. I'll go find out right now. How much was Binion's silver stash worth?
According to Las Vegas Sun, rare Carson City minted silver dollars worth millions may have been stolen.
Hold on. How much was Billy? Oh, Jesus. How much was Benny Binion's silver stash worth?
Here's something from Wikipedia.
10 billion. Okay. How much was Ted Binion's silver worth?
According to Las Vegas Sun, Chief Deputy District Attorney David Rogers said he understood the silver dollars, which have never been found, were worth $10 million to $15 million.
Oh, okay. They were never found. Well, there was some found in Pahrump. And everybody knows that case where that bitch and the dude, they conned Benny Binion, or whatever his name is, the younger son, into doing heroin and staying on junk. And then they tried to steal all that silver from him. Yeah, that was fucking a riot. I mean, people are just fucking snakes for money. They'll do anything. Those fucking sleazeballs, and they're already fucking paroled. I forget who they were, though. Who tried to steal Binion's silver?
Tabish. Here's a summary from Las Vegas Sun. Murphy finds Binion dead in his home. Benin tells police she believes her brother was murdered. Tabish is later caught trying to steal the silver.
Yep. But then there's $10 to $15 million of it that never was found. Okay. So that means there's $10 or $15 million worth of silver stashed somewhere still. Probably. Most likely location of Spanish silver in Pine Mountain Club.
Pine Mountain Club. Here you are.
Yeah, I heard there was a Spanish stash out in the mountains, and I want to see if it exists. Spanish stash. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Lost Treasures of Southern California.
Here's a summary from Legends of America. Treasure Tales of California, Bandit Hordes in California, Desert Steamers in Owens Valley, Honey Valley Treasure, Lost Chinese Cache in Volcanoville, Lost Mines of California, Cement Gold Mine of Mammoth Mountain.
Milton Sharp's buried loot. Who's this guy? Milton Sharp. Here he is. He had a fortune. Oh, that's what he looked like. Lost. He had a buried stash. Let's see how much. Milton Sharp allegedly robbed more than 20 stagecoaches along the California and Nevada border. where there was gold. There were often as many outlaws as there were honest prospectors, men who found it is such easier to use a gun rather than pick and shovel. Such was the case for Milton Sharp, who made his fortune by preying on the many gold and silver laden stage traveling from Sierra foothills to Sacramento and Stockton to the late 1870s. Thought to have robbed over 20 stagecoaches during his outlaw career, Sharp made his first major mistake when he turned up with an outlaw named W.C. Bill Jones, who went by the alias Frank Dow. Jones, who had served a stretch of San Quentin before meeting up with Sharp in Bode, California, was a dangerous drunk. The first robbery could not be considered a monumental success as they took from the Wells Fargo Express only $88 and 3 watches from passengers. But this did not stall their enthusiasm, and on the next robbery, they walked away with more than $15,000. Back then, that's a lot of money. Shit, but he kept robbing them. He's made multiple fucking robberies. Guy's fucking creepy looking, man. Here's a picture of him. Where's that picture at? Just saw a picture. Where's this fucker at? Crazy. I don't know, man. He did so many robberies. Lost Mines of California. That's what I kind of want to look at because that's supposedly what the mine here is. Once gold was discovered and California gold rush began, more than 500 camps, villages, and towns sprang up, almost poured into the mother lode country in 1849 alone. For more than a decade, the flood of people continued to come, arriving over the California Trail by ship around Cape Horn or through the Panama shortcut. In the beginning, the miners easily gathered the surface gold, scratching more than $10 or $10 million from the land in 1849. By 1853, the yield had peaked to more than 81 million before dropping in 1855 to 55 million. Among these tens of thousands of prospectors and almost equal amount of claims, tales of lost miners began almost immediately as pioneers were killed, sickened, or lost their way back to many of the rich finds in the mountains and deserts of Golden State. Anyway, sorry, I was ranting. No, I was reading. I just, there's a Sierra Madre, I think, I don't know, Spanish lost silver and gold around here somewhere. And it's in the mountains somewhere. They say, like a lot of them, they just blow a bunch of dynamite over it all. And it sinks into the ground. No one can get to it. It's fucking deep under there. Well, first they get it under there. And then they act like they make it look like a scar from an old gold hunt. So I wouldn't doubt if it's under an old gold hunt. Just blow it up underneath a scar that's already there that looks like it was already blown up, looking for gold, and then put the gold way down deep in there and or blow it up again, but make sure you first bury a bunch of gold under there. I think that's where they may have hidden it, under a very unstable place where an explosion took place when they were looking for gold. And once the gold quit producing, they went ahead and put it back in the mine it came from as a way to hide it. So if that, I think it's not the Sierra Madre, it's there's another name for it out here. I forget what they call it, but it is lost Spanish silver and gold. I forget the fucking name though. Let's see if I can find it. famous lost Spanish silver and gold in Southern California?
According to Wikipedia, the Lost Padre Mine is a legend about Spanish
That's
and Mexican
it.
mining activity along the Big Bend section of the San Andreas Fault during California's colonial period between 1769 and 1848.
That's it. Sierra. Okay. What's it called? Lost Padre Mine. Okay. Most likely place for the Lost Padre Mine.
Here's a result from Wikipedia.
Oh well. Sorry if I'm boring you. I'm just that Spanish lost gold and silver is supposed to be still around here somewhere. It was supposedly never found. There you go, 5. You ask, I give. Had to get some water, sorry. Stepped off to get some water, possibly. Yeah, that's what I did. Stepped off to get some water. You know, that's what I fucking did. Sue me. But you know, no, I'm just chilling. Yeah. So what? How about this? Somebody offered you to be the lead actor. They're going to train you to act and pay you filthy ass fucking drug money, but and you had to work out of Mexico. So there's a cartel production company to make a soap opera. And they were going to pay you dirty coke money to do it. Would you do it? Yeah, the price per day for acting. I mean, how much they had to pay you? It'd be like 30 grand an hour. That's how much they were going to pay you. 30 grand of coke stained money an hour. Would you do it? If it was in Mexico, I don't know if it'd be a big deal, would it? I don't know. I know in America, a lot of these Mexican businesses, they don't have any people coming or going, but they stay in business. And it's obvious they're laundering money. And that's any business that's, doesn't have a lot of customers coming and going. Yeah, that's laundering money there. You know how easy it is to burn those books and make it seem like you had a shitload of customers. Nobody around to prove it for a mile, unless the police walk up and say, pay us a cut. We have evidence you ain't having any customers come here. Then you got issues. But yeah, shit, the police do that. They fucking do. They get crooked real quick. A lot of police, I wouldn't doubt if a study was done to find out that 50% of the people that go into police academy go in with criminal intent from day one. Like, shit, I could fucking sling coke over here and here, and not one of my fucking cop friends will fucking knock me out. And I swear to God, I think that's something, 50% of the time when you see law enforcement, you can expect they may already be crooked as fuck. But it doesn't mean they're not trying to really even stop people from doing crime because you're making money. They don't want to die. So if you ever get one of those cops, they're trigger happy. They don't want to die. They're fucking like slinging drugs, and they don't want to fucking get caught doing that, and they don't want interferences with all the money they're making. So, fucking, they sling dope. Shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Hell yeah, they do. Cops sling dope. I wouldn't doubt. Like, if there was a study done tomorrow, and it lasted 5 years, and at the end they said, okay, you were right, fucking 50%. It's a 50% draw whether you get a dirty cop or not. And when they say dirty, they're not talking about cops that just shoot at people willy-nilly, but just are involved in crime. They're involved in crime. So, I mean, I think, 50% are organized crime. Look at San Bernardino. They were all tattooed with, some biker gang. They were basically a biker gang inside the police. San Bernardino police. Basically a bunch of thugs. The police hired thugs. So, anyway, the chief tried to explain it all, and it was fucking feeble. It just shows you their hiring practices aren't on par with reality. Police don't hire, and come on, man. How easy is to spot a fucking gangster tattoo? How hard is it to fucking spot a gangster tattoo? Did they get it after they became cops? I don't know. That's crazy. But yeah, I think 50% of the time it's like playing blackjack. You're gonna get a cop that's probably dirty. Doesn't mean he won't be nice to you though. The cop actually might be nice to you because he's a criminal himself. He's like, oh fuck, I try to be nice to the criminals, unless it's something threatening my life. Some cops are like that. They're literally fucking like that. They're friendly to the criminals because they're criminals. But not all of them. I mean, a lot of them put on that face that they're not for criminals, because otherwise they couldn't play the part of a policeman. So yeah, I do think that a lot of organized crime infiltrate police very easily, and the proof in the pudding is San Bernardino just recently, county, LA, county police were hiring fucking banditos. They had a shitload of banditos. up in their shit. And it's like, what? Because you would think, if anything, police know about that kind of stuff. But apparently they do, and they don't care. That's how they hire, apparently. The police chief was kind of like just with his legs crossed to the media. He didn't really know what to fucking say. He's just like, well, sorry, I didn't know they were all those guys. Whatever, dude. Shit. I don't even know what happened to that police chief. Let me look that up. San Bernardino police find banditos working for them.
This came back from a search.
Maybe it was the Vagos. No. I don't know, man. This news doesn't seem to be present anymore. Maybe this is it. Yeah, the Banditos. They're a fraternal club for LA deputies, but critics allege that the group violently harasses civilians and other officers. These groups have been reportedly around in some form or another in Los Angeles County since the 1970s, have been a frequent topic of local media reporting outlets in Los Angeles Times that highlighted how the officers have filed former complaints about the secretive groups, describing them as powerful forces within the sheriff's department who beat and harass local residents and at times deviantly work or actively work to intimidate other non-affiliated officers. Huh. Crazy. I mean, I remember hearing about that. It's too much reading for me, though. I don't want to read that much. Oh. This is my water, but I had to use a water bottle to fill it up. Was that good, 5? that was a classic dog face right there. Yeah. So let's see. How about this? How about somebody was going to give you a pill that would make you would take away your need to eat food for the rest of your life. If somebody offered you a pill for real that would keep you alive for the rest of your life and keep you fit, would you take it? Just one pill. They say it also gets rid of hunger, pains. So the one pill not only gets rid of hunger pains, but it makes you feel like there's constant calories being loaded for the rest of your life. Would you take it? Would you try it? Or would you stick with regular old food? I think most people would stick with regular old food. I mean, who doesn't want to anticipate getting hungry so you can eat? That would suck to feel like you fucking aren't hungry all the time. I don't think that would be right. That would be against all principles of man, which is the anticipation of getting hungry so you can reach out and find that perfection pasta or that whatever. It would be, but I wouldn't take the pill unless I was going to get notoriety and it was gonna like jack my account up somehow. If it was gonna jack my account up somehow, then yeah, I'd do it. I mean, I guess technically I could go without food. I could technically go without food and not have an urge to eat if there was such a pill. But would I do it for the rest of my life, not ever eat anything again because of this one pill? I don't know. It'd be tempting. It'd be tempting. I'm not gonna lie. One pill keep you alive the rest of your life, keep you muscular, healthy, and everything. It'll even prevent heart muscle issues and other things. In the process, it has nanotechnology in there that repairs old blood vessels and builds new ones biomolecularly. And so the pill would be like, kind of like a fountain of youth thing. It would help you look good, younger. You have an anticipation to get exercise. It would stimulate your spinal fluid so that it doesn't get all nappy in there and shit without flow. And we kind of recharge you a little bit, and you'd feel a lot actually. But the pill would be, something people wouldn't want to do because they're so used to eating and shitting, eating and shitting, eating and shitting, eating and shitting. People are so used to eating and shitting, eating and shitting, eating and shitting, eating and shitting. People are so used to eating and shitting and eating and shitting. People are so very much used to shitting and eating and shitting and eating, eating and shitting, shitting and eating, that when they're all done at the end of the day, whatever kind of shitting and eating they had to do, they count, their blessings for all the fucking shit they had to come out of the backside of them, and none of it was too horrible, but it was aggravating insult to the invasion of privacy to have to release that motherfucker every time you have to shit. So if they had a pill that would keep you alive the rest of your life, keep you healthy, and reduce all your hunger the rest of your life, and help your neurology as well as your muscularity and your vascular systems. Your internal systems would be molecularly repaired by nanotechnology inside the pill, and your immune system would just get amped up. Would I take it? I think I probably would end up taking the damn. I think I'd end up taking the son of a bitch. I'd be like, no, that shit sounds high tech. I want to try it. Now, just like people that get a fucking gastro balloon in their stomach or whatever, no, it may fail. If you try something like that, you're gonna, even though you're not hungry, you're gonna have an urge to eat. I think that's what would happen. But that would be easy enough to break that habit. It would be easy enough to break that fucking habit of eating food if you weren't hungry. You just have to get used to it psychologically, not having to consume food. Now, do I think extraterrestrials do something similar and that's why they don't eat? No, actually, I think the more augmented you are, the more molecularly absent from biological that you are and more robotic, the more likely that you don't have to do that stuff because your system regulates itself without having to worry about the complexities of the biomolecular world and stuff. So they probably don't eat. Extraterrestrials probably have synthesized their own biology. That's probably what they are. They've synthesized their own biology. Now, does it mean that by proxy they did it? No, it may be another intelligence that trained them to go do that over here in this environment we're in, where we got a universe. And of course, they picked the outside of the spiral arms as a preference because you're going to have less, problems. You're going to have less problems, less pulsars, less gamma rays, less supernovas. The farther out the spiral arm you go, you're going to run into less of that. So on purpose, whatever creatures that are out there, they make us, and then they put us as far away from all the dangers as they can, so they can farm us safely. And they terraform every planet out there. Now, Does it mean they love this fucking particular place to farm? Not necessarily, no. They got other options, but it costs more of their resources to get to that level. So they don't do that. They just choose, like somebody would claim land when they're a pioneer. They do the same thing. They come out here and they say, okay, I got genetic stock over there on Earth, and I had play a part in helping maintain it. And sometimes we have to check their nukes and stuff. And we have to check their nukes, see what they're doing underground. Sometimes they're doing some really against our rules stuff, and we have to actually take action. The extraterrestrials have their protocols, but are they biological? Not necessarily. They're probably their main deal is they make biological robots and they make their kind. And they do it because they need the diversity, because sometimes the biological ones lose the ability to procreate over time. So they have to synthesize biology. So that's what most of the extraterrestrials have converted to, that synthesized biology. And that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what I do when I was fucking around with this. Anytime you're doing something to augment something, it's a phase. It may be a frequency, like in music on the synthesizer, and they can do the same things with molecular biomechanics. They can, they can push atoms away. They can take electrons and shut them down, and they can ID things from genetics, like transmit data to Earth and get back a feedback of one individual from his genetic code, because they got an AI system connected to it. There's some kind of connection within our genes that is hidden, that is a processing unit. And it's super small on a super small level, but it's a processing unit, and it's designed to fucking help us out in the worst of times and shit like that. But it is also their way of spying on us the easiest. They can check us out and see what we're doing, our diagnostic from afar. They don't have to come get you to do a diagnostic. They can check you and do a diagnostic from afar. So they don't even need to come near you. If they're in another dimension, they can even do it from another dimension. So these creatures don't really have to come abduct you. The reason why they come abduct you from time to time, it's more of a curiosity thing. It's more of a tourist kind of abduction. It's like, they're the tourists, and they're just abducting the monkey so they can pet it for a split second from the owner. And then they bring it back and put it back. But to us, it looks like a couple science experiments. And it is. But to them, it's just like, hey, do I get to hold the monkey for a split second? It's trained, it won't bite me, will it? And then they do a few tests while they're at it, because they're high tech. And they want to see, is there anything we're allowed to do to the humans? They have rules and regulations what they're allowed to do to the humans. Some of them are allowed to do. Some of the extraterrestrials just leave other extraterrestrials alone to do their thing, and they're not very nice extraterrestrials. So even the nice extraterrestrials don't fuck with some of the ones that are fucked up, because they're dangerous. So they just leave them alone. Say, oh, they went and did that. Oh shit. Oh well, those guys pay their bills, something like that. They pay their fucking bills. Leave them alone. Yeah, but they fucking they don't put the humans in stasis. They torture them and stuff. And it's like, well, what do we care? We're not human. These things are our farm. This is part of a farm community here. We just got this extra stock, and we have to farm it. Why do you have to worry about the human? It's like a cow to them. It's like, oh yeah, okay, all right, I won't worry about the cow anymore. But in reality, those guys, they just don't have an interest in our environment. They have such an explosive and different environment comparatively. They can show up in different environments. And, what we do is quite boring. They probably wonder how we even stay happy or motivated on this planet. They're probably like, how do those things even stay motivated? All they got is like 4 seasons over here, there, and tropical there, and that's it. They can't even get outside their planet. Well, that's how it's supposed to be. They're farmed. They're farmed. Yeah, I know they're farmed, but don't they get any extra privileges for being closely related to some of the beings that we use and are very good friends with? Well, yes and no. More on the no end. You know, it's like, not really. Have a nice day. No, because we're third and fourth genetic stock. We're not really a top line genetics, but it's good because we have just enough of the monkey mixed in us so that when they do fuck with us, there's a good procreation going on with those with us. So that's when they farm shit. They have to make it horny all the time. It can't be fucking celibate or anything like that. It has to be like a fucking monkey want to fuck all the time. So that's the thing about being human is they purposely do that because in their world it's everything becomes synthesized. So they look down at biology here and they go, well, they're disposable genetics, but we farm them. We try to keep them as alive for around 80 to 100 years. That way we can make a decision within that linear span when we're in and out of their linear reality. If we need to, we can choose their linear convenience, stuff like that. What I mean is they can manipulate linear time so that if you were to be trained in school that dinosaurs got fossilized into rock when they died because, you know, they turned into rock, and then you find out, no, those are actually only about 6,000 years old, those dinosaurs. And the reason is because they can manipulate linear time so that it appears a lot of things happen when it didn't. So this might be one of the ways they can actually turn shit into rock. They manipulate time on a high quantum level, and in an instant, one object that you had in front of you was now a rock. It fossilized within your time frame, but in the linear time frame, when it would appear to humans, it would look like millions and millions and millions of years. But the truth is, they can manipulate that. So it's kind of like, you know, when you fold space, the same thing. But also, if you ever see the tension when you put a little, you push into some water with something that doesn't pierce it real well, and you can see the water push down like a trampoline. That's exactly what's up. They can manipulate the time and distort it, but to you in your reality, it'll all appear like it's linear consistency over time. And then they'll look at you and go, "Poor human, they don't know any better." The alien would be like that. He'd be like, "Poor human doesn't know any better, but what are you going to do? We have to raise these fucking things." Kind of like when they fill up lakes with little bitty fishes in Stockholm. They have to keep it going. They have to keep that fucking shit going, like an engine. And yeah, I go into whatever I want to when I talk about shit. I don't even look if anyone's in when they disappear to see if they come back or anything. I really don't. Too late on the East Coast if anyone would be over there watching. So, but it's always a video at the end, and that's what's good. I can talk. I can make a video. I got a stuffy nose. My dog's sleeping on my upstairs cot over there, and he's enjoyed it. Right, Five? That's the whistle I'll use if you ever get lost. You come to me, okay, Five? All right. I can see coffee. Maybe I'll start this live stream over.